Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories Podcast. I am Shara Goswick, your host. I have an update for you today. I am speaking to two former guests, which I'm very excited about doing. I love it when I reach out to people that have been on the podcast before and ask if they want to share an update of what's new in their lives, in their businesses or their books or whatever it is. And I love it when they say yes. So today I have two authors, but also they are doing powerful things in their lives, and I am excited to share their work with you. My first guest is Jeaneen Tang. Jeaneen is an author. She did write an incredible book, which I have recommended to many people, called Play Dumb and Sabotage. She's a speech language pathologist, and she made me realize some things, even though my son is, almost in his 30s. He went through speech therapy for a long time, and she made me realize some things I wish I would have done differently if I could have done it over. She's really smart. She's got lived experience with her own son that needed speech therapy. And so I love what she's doing. I love how she's helping families. She's got some great things coming up, which I'm going to let her tell you about. But I'm glad that I got to talk to her. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
Oh,
How are you?
good. How's it going?
Good. Well, how have you been?
I've been well. I've been busy. I've been trying to build an online course and hopefully
Cool.
launch it in like late summer, early fall is what I'm. As long as I keep consistent about working on it, it's like
Yes.
that's the consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency.
And I've realized this, when you're working for yourself, it's a lot harder, or it is for me, to be
Yeah.
consistent because nobody's telling me to do anything.
Yeah.
It's all on me. So I can get myself in trouble by waiting too long just because, it's up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me.
I started working with a coach. He's in Barcelona.
Oh, wow.
And I know I saw him online, on my Instagram feed. We had connected, and then he kind of reached out and was like, "Are you looking for coaching?" And I was like, "Well, maybe." Like coaching is
It is expensive.
expensive,
Yeah.
but in the long run, I think it's going to pay off
Oh,
because
sure.
we started working in March, and then a lot of like personal development stuff, like
Yeah.
getting over all your childhood stuff that's really blocking your way
Yep.
because that's about identity and who you see yourself
Yeah.
and then now we're working on the business part of it, and he's already
Awesome.
built his online course and he's building a new one. So he kind of helps me lay down the blueprint of like what I have to do and then I'm like, "Well," and then I'm like, "Well," he's like, "Well, how much are you going to charge for your course?" I'm like, "Well, I don't want to, you undervalue
Yep.
yourself, right?"
Yep.
You're like, "Well, I want to make it really affordable, so I want to keep it under $100." He's like, "Well, you have like over 20 years of experience, and what is this worth to families if it helps them?" And I was like, "Oh, it
That's
helps."
hard.
I know. So we settled on 250
Good.
for a course. It's gonna like 5 modules and
Yeah.
gonna do 3 different levels, one for parents and caregivers, one for um educators, and then one for like speech therapy
Yeah.
assistants. To kind of just
I think that's
uh
great. That's like $50 a module, and I think that's great because, there will be people that don't even know what to ask. They don't even know what kind of
yeah.
help they need, you know what I mean? So I think that's perfect.
Yeah,
I think
thank
that's
you.
perfect.
Thank you. That's helpful and validating because I'm like, well, I want, as like a single mom, I'm like, well, I don't know if I would pay 250 or if I could afford that, but I guess if you look at if it would help your child,
Sure.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew a lady, and it made me feel like just such a lazy bum. They sold their house when their son was diagnosed with autism, and he went from talking to completely nonverbal just
Oh,
overnight.
wow. Oh,
And they sold their house to buy all these therapies, and I thought, "I feel like such a lazy parent. I can't do that." Like, she did all these big things, and so people will do whatever they need to do, so I think that's fine. I think that's great. It'll be super helpful.
yeah. How about yourself? What's new?
I'm doing well. Yeah, just staying busy and, trying to learn all the things. I did an episode with just me because I'm realizing some things about myself. Um, you know, in whatever field you're in, you get online and you want to learn, and then you hear, well, you should be doing this and you need to be doing this. And why aren't you doing this? And you should, what I mean? It's like constant, all these things. And I'm like, I also have a family and I have a house and I have, other responsibilities. And so I'm learning balance and that I can't do it all. I just can't do it all. So I'm going to do the best with what I have.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just listening to your last podcast you put up with the lady who does the work clothes things. I was like,
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
yeah, I was
That
like,
was so
oh,
creative.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I was like, I don't have to do work clothes, but it sounds like I would really want a pair for pants.
Right. I know. She was fun. Yeah, I'm still meeting incredible people doing incredible things. It always amazes me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love how, like, I'll listen to a podcast and I'll hear a host that I've been on their podcast all in their
Yes.
podcast, like
Yes.
how you did, like, Lita and
Yes.
Senda and Lita. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So
great.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's great." It's like fate.
I know, I love it. I love it. So how's the book? How's the book going?
The book is going okay. I haven't really
Yeah.
been, like, pushing it too hard, but,
Yeah.
it's has like, for the last, like, couple months, it's like for a few months, it's like there was, like, no sales because I was, like, not really pushing it,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Oh, there's a couple sales. Oh, there's 3 sales this month so far. Okay,
Awesome.
not too bad. Alright, we'll keep going."
Right?
Yeah, and then just talking to more just people in
Sure.
person and, finding out where I wanna do, be a speaker at conferences and
Oh, yeah.
be able to educate people. So I'm just trying to like brainstorm like where I can do that and
Yeah.
finding out like, um early youth kind of 0 to 3
Mhm.
conferences or preschool conferences or special
Yeah.
education and trying to find ways to push it that way. But
Oh,
but
definitely.
yeah, people have been using the book, which is great.
Yeah. That's
So
wonderful.
it's good.
Have you ever heard Temple Grandin speak?
I have not heard her. I think I've heard like little clips of her speak, but
Yeah.
um not recently. But I
Yeah.
should probably, yeah. Have you heard her speak in person?
I have years and years ago, like, right I don't even it might have been before my son was diagnosed, but when, I knew what his diagnosis was gonna be, I went to a conference and she was there. Wow, it was enlightening for sure. It was so neat to have somebody because at that time, my son was not very verbal, and it was so neat to have somebody that could explain things that he did, not to me personally, but, just in her speech, I'm like, "Oh, well, that's why he doesn't like that," or "That's why," he does whatever. It was awesome. It was awesome. I encourage you, if you ever get to, go listen to her speak.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'll
wild.
I'll I'll look up on YouTube. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some speeches on there. I
Oh,
tell you, it's
yeah.
always interesting to find out like because there's not that many adults we know that have
Mhm.
that have autism. I've worked with tons of children who have autism,
Yeah.
right? And it's great to see them become verbal. Yeah.
It's very rewarding for you, I'm sure, being able to do it for that long and see from the beginning, how
Yeah.
they come. That's awesome. So besides your class, your course, do you have any other plans of anything new coming up or
Not so much. I think I'm really focusing on the course,
Yeah,
but I really would love to launch that because I
Yeah.
feel like that's gonna be a great way to help people. Because not everybody's gonna pick up a book,
sure.
because people are like, "Oh, I'll take a class, but I'm not gonna sit
Yeah.
down and read through a book," right? They
Yeah.
could read through the book and for a lot less money, but then not have the direct kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
interaction.
Sure.
And like for a bonus, we're thinking of doing like group Zooms either weekly or
Nice.
monthly so they can ask questions.
That would
When
be awesome.
maybe incorporate also like a 30-minute consultation or something
Yeah.
1-to-1 rather than than them not knowing how to apply it. And if they have a
Sure.
question, be able to do that.
Well,
So
that's
that's kind of where the focus is now, and then just applying to different conferences to try and do speaking things. But
yeah.
no other book at this moment, although I always joke that my first book is Play Dumb and Sabotage, my next one is Bribes and Threats, and then, like, the third's gonna be, like, Contracts and Treaties.
Right. That's
So as we
awesome.
get older, it's like,
Yeah.
how do you how can
Right.
you adjust your parenting and
That's so funny.
everything?
Well, if you ever come to Texas for a conference, please tell me because I will definitely come see you. And
Amazing, amazing.
yeah,
Okay, I'll keep
yeah,
that keep that in
yeah, definitely. I would love that. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, I am so excited to talk to you. This was wonderful, and I'm glad things are going well. And I hope your course just flies and just goes so well. I hope everybody
Thank
loves
you.
it.
I will when it
Yeah.
launches, I will send you,
Please
like
do.
yeah.
Please do. I'll share and do whatever I can.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was
Well,
great
thank
talking with
you.
you.
All right. Thanks,
Take
Jeaneen.
care.
All right. Bye.
My next guest is Jessica Clancy. Jessica is an author, and she wrote a book called The Quest for Family, and her book is about her life. It is a very honest and raw look at trauma she went through and just difficulties that she faced in her family all her growing up years. But she also talks about the way the Lord has healed her heart and the good things that have happened. I think it's very encouraging for anybody to read. But she's also doing some other really cool things. I'm going to let her tell you about them. But I will say I can recommend both of these books that I've talked about today. I think they're both powerful. I will have the links and their websites listed below so that you can find their books. I think you need to read them. Thanks for being here.
How's it going?
Good. So good to see you. I love your background.
Oh, thank you. We decorated for Christmas this weekend. I have an event this coming weekend, and I wanted to have it all done ahead of time. So we just went ahead and did it. So
You're
holiday tree.
good.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. So good to see you. I was just thinking, I was like, I haven't really been pursuing the podcast lately. I haven't been on one in a while. So tell me I'm back into it. And girl, I'm going to use this one too. Trust me.
Good deal. Well, tell me. So it's been a while since I've talked to you. I mean, we've talked on the phone since you were on the podcast, but I know a lot has happened. So I know that the book that you wrote, you entered a contest.
So the contest was made to be made into a full feature screenplay, which is a screenplay kind of like out there. So they were teaming up with a company. I needed to raise money to produce it.
Right.
So thinking outside of the box as a dietitian, I have been, it's just been amazing because I'm learning about media and using my nutrition skills to promote all of the knowledge and everything that I have learned through the media. And now, like, the biggest thing is on the far goals, right? The far vision
Yeah.
to establish relationships with brands and then bring those brands into independent film production.
Wow.
Like myself, have funds to produce their films.
That's so smart.
Long-term vision. So I'm learning about media. I'm creating relationships with brands. And in the short term, because what my book talks about is all of the people in the community who helped me have a better life.
Yeah.
In a short term, I want to help on a smaller scale and give back to those people who served as a tremendous mentor or person in changing my life. So right now I'm working on toolkits for teachers. So I'm reaching out to health and wellness brands, dietitian approved ones, and asking if they'd like to partnership with me, and I would bring their product as a wellness kit to the teachers in a local school.
That's
Just
awesome.
thank you and appreciation, and bring healthy snacks to them where they may not have time to look for and take care of themselves. And then on a larger scale, I would like to have bigger sponsors to do like kidney walks, like the underserved population for diabetics and people with kidney disease, where sponsors I can do at Snack Shack. And I could have sponsors, and I would be the dietitian to bring in healthy, suitable snacks for people with kidney disease or diabetes and teach them about that. So
That's awesome.
that's where I am right now.
Tell me, did you after you wrote the book, did you hear about a contest and you decided to enter it? Or were you thinking, I would love for my book to be made into a movie whenever you wrote it? Because honestly, I mean, I could see that when I read it. It's such a and it's your life. It's your story. It's not like you made it up. This is a real story. But I could totally see that. And so I'm just wondering how that process went.
So when I was writing the book, I could see each chapter as a chapter summary and image, and I paid somebody to create that into like little short movie clips. And when I was writing the book, I could actually see the vision, and the vision was actually almost like what is it when the Scrooge, not the Scrooge, but where you go back into like your past life,
Yeah.
like it was the Scrooge where except I'm not a Scrooge. But where he doubted his life. Even Life is Beautiful, that show as well.
Yeah.
People get to really, it symbolizes where people get to such a low point and they wonder if they should even live or keep moving forward, right, for something
Yeah.
positive. And so I saw my book as a means to going back to each stage of life and seeing how God walked me through that
Wow.
to bring me to the other side. So it was almost like the past, the present, and the future, and where I am now giving back and helping others. So I could see it like as a movie. So when I saw the contest, and there was a book contest that I entered, and I won first place with
I know. It's amazing.
and then they introduced us to the film to book contest. So I entered that one as well. So I'm not sure if that may be the route that it goes for a film, but it actually lit the fire underneath my feet to learn how to
Yeah.
put a slide deck together to promote it for a book to film type thing. And that would be exposure to film producers and
Yeah.
really I just know that God has a plan and I'm going to continue to do my work to help others and get it there, whatever it takes. So,
I love it. I love it. I will be so excited when all of that pans out. I think it would be amazing. Now, I know you did a lot of traveling. Like you traveled the world. Tell me about some of that.
yes. So, we actually went to Australia and I had a vision that I wanted to be introduced for my story in Australia and across the world because someday when it would be a movie and I wanted people to be familiar with the story, I wanted to share it because it doesn't matter where you are in the world. We all have the same struggles and to bring the story to others so that it would be an exposure so that someday when it is bigger, people would already kind of be familiar with it
Yeah.
and more likely to, to accept it, right? To have that exposure. So I was able to be interviewed in Australia with Hope Radio and to
Wow.
talk about my story. And it was so exciting. We showed up. We didn't even think it would happen. And I had an interview from Houston and Australia beforehand. And had said, I really would like to have a live interview, take advantage of the opportunity. And so God made it happen. My whole family was at the studio and
Awesome.
it was such a great experience. And even being an author, like any author that's out there, like you have to do the work to get your story out there. But once you do, just meeting the people and sharing the story and getting out there is like so inspiring, right? And
Yeah.
neat. And then how you hear about how it impacts their life. And
Sure.
I know a lot of times people get caught up into my story because there's a lot of sadness. It can be very heavy, but life is heavy and people go through a lot of heaviness. And it's not so much about my story, it's really about everybody's story. And the positive side is like now I can be on the other part helping others, and someday they could be on the other side helping others, and to focus on the people that are reaching down and grabbing them out of the pit and who
Wow.
God is sending and who God is sending them to be rescued, just like for me. So that's really what it models. So
Absolutely. I remember when I was reading your book, as you were overcoming things and like I remember when you got your first apartment and I was just so excited. I was like, she did it. She did it, It's like you're rooting for you while you're reading your story about your life. And so I was encouraged by it. I know there's so many people that are encouraged by it. Like you said, everybody goes through stuff. So I think that everybody can relate to it in some way. But you did such a great job with that book, and I'm so thankful that I got to meet you and read it and tell people about it. So, is there anything else coming up? Anything new that you have on the horizon, or you're working on, or hoping for? Or
So one thing that I also wanted to touch on, and when I said a bigger scale of doing like a snack shack for these walks, these fundraisers, I'm really looking at like the diabetic population or people with diabetes, people with kidney disease, fostering families, the Love
yeah,
Foster House Hope. So what I'm finding where my niche is that in my current work, my ropes in my day job, 30 to 35% of people are coming in with kidney disease younger than me,
wow,
and it's growing. And it used to be an elderly person's disease, and it's not anymore.
yeah,
And my goal is to prevent the end from the beginning, to use all of this media because I've been quoted on MSN, Yahoo Net, Real Simple, Delish, Eating Well, Loseit.com. So I've been quoted in all these media outlets. And every nugget of nutrition that I can use or opportunity to teach people to prevent the end from the beginning and everything in between. That is my strategy, to teach people how to take care of their bodies. So before they end up on dialysis and they come to the doctor in the clinic and they're in denial and they're like, I didn't know my kidneys were failing. I don't know that I need dialysis. I want them to see their doctor every year. I want them to know what their kidney function is. I want them to be strengthened and to know I know what I need to do to take care of my body. I know what my kidneys are and what my function is. And these are the things that I can do every year to make that happen, to protect it and to be well. So sponsoring these walks is also supporting that population.
Yeah, it's so important. And, the algorithm on Facebook and Instagram, when you start watching a video or a second video of the same topic, then you see all the videos. And so I watch follow a lot of health people, doctors and nutritionists and all these people that are teaching all that. So I hear all that all the time. And we actually just went and had our yearly exams and blood tests and all our things, to make sure everything's in order. And it is important. It's not, if you we've had to do it different in the past, but it's like when you haven't done it in a while, it's a little scary to go the first time and have all that done. But once you do and you have a baseline, then you just continue, keep going and then you'll know where you started from. You'll know, how things are going in your body. So it is important. It's kind of scary sometimes, but it is important.
Exactly. And the one test that the doctor won't tell you about that you always need to ask about is your GFR, because they will say everything is fine, but it can actually be declining and you wouldn't even know it until it's too late. Okay. GFR is the glomerular filtration rate. It should be above 90. If it starts declining, once it's less than 60, you're in CKD stage 3.
Okay.
Once it's less than 15, it requires dialysis. So a lot of people don't know that because the doctor will say, you're fine, and then they're on dialysis.
What can people do to fix that or to help with that?
Yes, so definitely go to your doctor every year. The main thing is making sure that you're monitoring your blood pressure numbers, limiting your sodium, drinking plenty of water.
Yeah.
If you're taking any kind of supplements, make sure that you're monitoring your kidney function to make sure that it's not affecting your kidneys, because everything you take into your body, even on your skin, is filtered through your liver and your kidneys.
Right.
So there are a lot of things out there. A lot of them aren't regulated. The companies that I'm working with are like multiple tested and engineered. They're not like you making sure that they are safe. Like you probably saw her news that a lot of protein powders have lead in them. So, and a lot of those are like pea protein powders. So just making sure that they are properly tested, because there are no FDA guidelines.
Right.
And like you said, what your level is and tracking and trending it each year.
Yeah.
And then doing deep dive to figure out like what's causing that to decline.
Yeah. That's so important. So important. Well, I'm so glad I got to talk to you. I thank you for chatting with me and helping me get this update going. And I'm excited to share with people. Is there anything you haven't talked about that I haven't asked you about, or any kind of update?
Oh, my website is Love is Kind Wellness.
Okay.
So I am switching over. It is construction a bit,
Okay.
but I will be doing some blogging. I will be doing
Awesome.
newsletters. I'm also kind of revamping like my social media. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn. So you can reach out to me on any of those outlets.
Awesome.
But I'm also working with AI, and I'm generating things that I've written and I'm writing and putting them into ads so that I can share everything that I'm producing.
Wonderful.
Stay tuned for more nutrition information. I recently went to the Food and Nutrition Conference in Nashville, and there's a big push for registered dietitians to share their expertise online.
Oh, wow.
Keep that.
Yeah.
We don't know who's credentialed, who isn't sharing this information. And by the public, they don't know who to believe and what's true and what's not. So the registered dietitians need to step up and to share that wisdom and knowledge that is evidence and research based.
Yeah.
And I'll be sharing all of that on my social media as well.
Okay. Very cool. Well, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you.
Nice to be in touch again. We'll chat on the phone later when we have more time.
Okay, sounds good. Take care.
All
Thank
right,
you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.